Well, hello everyone. Here to show you that the Play Safe Holiday activity coloring right here. As you see right here, is I went ahead and drew a picture right here, of some fireworks right here, and you got right here is that if most of us have been to fireworks stands and of course fireworks stores, it is in fireworks lots, that a lot of times that if you were to buy fireworks, is that you would see that a lot of different variety of fireworks that you can buy. It is, and of course one of them I can remember that was the poppers. It's like you had was the poppers it was, and a lot of time, and of course the snake the snake design type fireworks it was. But I can remember that a couple of times that that they would have like what you call it's like the fountain fireworks, to where that you light them say on top it was. And these were the types of you kind of look like you say Hershey's, but anyway, that a lot of times that they would have like say a light say fuse right here, is that that you would light them, and of course that there would be like what you call is like a big show of different say graffiti effects, that there will be like what you call is like different colored say materials say inside the fireworks it is, for however that's pronounced it is. But anyway, I guess I could call it's like color stones or anything like that, is that it's filled with like what you call is like real the hot say color stones. But other than that is like you have right here is like what they say the fountain design type fountain firework it was. But they would have it to where that you would be able to buy those. And then of course you got right here is the sparklers. You got right here that they is a type of sparkler. And of course, if I remember right, they also had like the bobcat type design also. But so I go ahead and add just a little bit to say of a color right here. It's like for like a sparkler. But light on the top, and of course it would it would burn to the point of go all the way down to the center it is. And but a lot of times you got right there, as you say, the sparklers. But anyway, that you got there is the fireworks it is. And if and most kids it is, whenever I was a kid, of course, that whenever I was much younger, that of course the 4th of July holiday, you say any type of outdoor tradition, it is, if it was fireworks related, that a lot of times it was related to something like kind of like this, that like a car, that that it would be like what you call is like any type of a a speed, the speed running, type vehicle it was. And a lot of times that at the fireworks stands, that they would have like different design type fireworks. Of course, that they would have like we say the pop gunnies it is, that the pop guns. And then of course I don't know if they would have like any other type of character, speed runner it is, as like knowing about that the types of fireworks that you would be able to light. And then of course that they would go like but other than that, like knowing about types of fireworks, that I remember that flying over there at the fireworks stands, because I remember about every year back in like 1993 I think it was, that I enjoyed going with my parents to the fireworks stand it was. And I can remember that the types of fireworks the types of fireworks that I would normally see will be the kind like this right here, to where that these were that were pretty expensive, I'm sure. The kind that would just that they would shoot up in the air. It's like they were like you say the type of fireworks it was, that they would shoot up. And of course it's like that then they would shoot a bunch of a big display explosion say in the sky it is, that they would shoot up. And then of course that they would say in play say in the sky it is. And a lot of people probably thinking about that that they are pretty nice to see, especially out there in the city, that those type of fireworks are pretty nice to see out there in the city. But in all on the other hand too, that knowing about how expensive, of course I think that with these these real large type fireworks right here, that of course that they run up in price to at least $60, $65, $70, and of course that you have like you say different color, type fireworks it is that you have, like what you call is like the blue, and then of course you may have a little bit of the green, and then of course you say the tennis, the yellow, the yamalo, temple wound, or anything like that. But on the other hand too, that knowing about is like that you have is like with the fireworks it's like go ahead and add a little bit of yellow, but we're gonna add a little bit of yellow about right here. But anyway, that the types of fireworks they go up in the air and show like a different display. It's like you have right there is like the fireworks, and of course it's like the noise makers, the types of noise makers that most of us have probably seen if you live like what you call the west, east, to say the south, southern part of say of the country. It's like you have right here is the fireworks, the noise makers. You say that the noise makers that they would fill them up with noisy beads and of course you would tap them around, and then they would make noises that way. But it's like the rattle rattle beans is somebody rattle beads, the noise makers that they would show up and you say showing different colors it is. But on the other hand too, that knowing about is like that I keep thinking about that every year whenever you buy bag of fireworks, if it's a bottle rockets or if it's they say that the wildcats, or if it's the snakes or anything like that, that most of us I'm sure remember buying at the fireworks store, and just knowing about the expensive, how expensive that some of them are that a lot of times that you go to different fireworks stands, and quite a few of them always say are labels like different names of course. But of course that knowing about it's like buying like a watch to where you can have it's like a watch that you can keep track of time, is knowing about that you buy fireworks and then you burn them and then they're gone, and then you gotta throw them away, whatever it is. And there may be some parents out there, whoever, that may think about something that you can buy for the 4th of July holiday, of course, that would last quite a long time. It is. And the way I think about it is that knowing about is like maybe a watch, or any type of say art, is like so far as the remembrance of what you were doing at this year. It is knowing about the time and day and the year. Of course, I'm sure that they say that have watches like that, but whenever I was a kid, of course, that you could probably thinking about that, especially on the 4th of July holidays, knowing about calculating about how much money that you spend on fireworks it is, and just knowing about it's like talk about celebrating for say is how for the celebration of say of the country it is. And of course if it's like what you call maybe Chinese New Year, or anytime the Spain traditional holiday for Spain or France or something like that, that a lot of times that people probably thinking about is like that the way with fireworks, so far as play safe holiday, is talk about the things that maybe that you would like to maybe buy. You say that more likely would last all year long. Maybe like the American flag, and of course the other type of flag that you think that more likely would last all year long. It is. But I know with me, I keep thinking about this, like if you were to buy anything, and then people probably thinking about with fireworks it is like you buy them, and then the next thing you know it, that you throw them away after they're used about once or twice it is. And you probably think, I remember you would buy the car ones, the ones that would go like beep, but and then of course that the ones that that would go up into the air. They would go up into the air, and of course make like a little crackle noise, and of course the firecrackers, and of course the wild Amarone, or the wild bang gang or anything like that, the bang ring or anything, any type of fireworks like that. But a lot of people probably think about if they celebrate the holidays is that with me that whenever I go to fireworks stands, a lot of times is that they tell you that it's like, hey, you be careful now with those fireworks, and a lot of times you buy them, and And quite a few places, of course, around here, say in the state of Missouri, it's like they say that you can't shoot them off in the city limits. It is, and a lot of times people may shoot them off anyway, or they may say that I just go to a location, especially around drought season, or maybe if it's New Year's. A lot of times that some people may keep their fireworks for New Year's, to celebrate, for the New Year's festival it is. And of course it could be State Fair or whatever you call it, where there would be fireworks. And just thinking about that you keep fireworks and then knowing about if you kept them around for quite some time, for over a year or two, for the next year, I guess to say they're not like what you call maybe a box of lollipops or candy canes or anything like that. You keep them all for about for a year, and then after that, and then it's like knowing about maybe that they're just not good anymore. But on the other hand too, to knowing about, I guess to say that people say it's about having fun, but on the other hand too, to besides that, and buying a T-shirt, it is, and the types of things that maybe you would like to have for the 4th of July holiday. And like with me, that whenever 4th of July came around the corner, of course that was around the time of my birthday. It was, since my birthday of course was, say as of the 18th it is, and just knowing about the things that of course whenever the 4th of July came around the corner, and a lot of people around that time would be asking me, I'm like, hey, what do you want for your birthday, man? And I remember a couple times, you want to go bowling, about a couple weeks after the 4th of July, we want to go bowling, and I'm sure that people probably thinking about it still, as far as to play safe it is anything that you think that you would like to have, for like, for the 4th of July, keep a remembrance, for like a birthday present is talking about. It's like, anything, anything that blows up, man, anything that blows up, I'm sure that you'll think is exciting. It's like anything that will catch on fire, anything that disintegrates, you say, in the air, more likely will be exciting. But on the other hand too, that knowing about with me is like between that and maybe the game of cards or magic tricks and stuff like that. And I can remember that I could probably think about if there's any type of magic trick, of course, that you can do, let's say on sketch paper it is, if it's, you say, on the watch it is, and just knowing about that, hey, that if a watch more likely can show what you call is like the time for the time counting, about knowing about between now and say in the graduation party, or if it's what you call is like the wedding rehearsal, whatever it is, for that special occasion, more likely you ought to know that it's like, hey, that more likely maybe that would be something, maybe like the hair, so something related to anything that you think that you would want to save up for. It is talking about that anything that you would think that you would like to have, that more likely would last all year round it is. But on the other hand too, it was the car, and of course I remember the poppers it was. But on the other hand too, with most holidays it is that they could probably think about is like for the 4th of July holiday, is if you get involved with face painting. But in a lot of ways I keep thinking about, if I were to get a birthday present, and then more likely it may have something to do maybe with the screen, or maybe with the watch, or anything that maybe glows in the dark, whatever it is. But anything that changes color, maybe anything that maybe I can use, that more likely it's like to have. But on the other hand too, to talk about was like for play safe, is talking about the types of things that you can be able to save your money up for. And a lot of times people are thinking about whenever you buy stuff, and then the next thing you know it's like you burn it, it's gone. But on the other hand too, that knowing about that, to keep in mind is that that really that if we probably thinking about the one stupid thing that we could probably do is think about, it's like that we know that we don't want to burn no money. And more likely it's like talking about, it's like really if you want to burn anything, then more likely you could probably thinking about that hey, if you really want to burn anything, then more likely you go and say you'll burn a candle or whatever. But on the other hand too, that knowing about anybody will probably think about 4th of July is not the same unless if you don't burn anything. But on the other hand too, that knowing about is to celebrate. It's like so far as play safe is the way I think about it is like maybe you have it to where that you have like anything that would maybe display about that certain time of of the year it is that certain time, say of the month. It's like for anything special. But so far as talk about for Play Safe and Play Safe holiday color.